Hello and welcome to Birmingham City University International College. Fantastic to see you. We'd like to introduce Birmingham City University International College to you and to provide some information on the great city of Birmingham. Today, you've got myself, Lisa Blenkinsop. I'm the Director of Marketing and Admissions, and I'm also joined by my colleague Adara Bayoku, who is our Conversion Manager, who you'll have lots of interactions with here at Birmingham City University International College. So what are we going to cover in this training? We really want to introduce location to you. So like I say, the great city of Birmingham. We also want to talk about the CAS requirements and the academic and English language requirements that we have in order for students to progress onto a foundation or to a pre-master's program here at Birmingham City University International College. And we also want to tell you a bit about why we're different. Why should students consider coming and studying at BCU? IC, and that includes, for example, the industry standard facilities we have and the scholarships and the fee discounts that my colleague Adara will talk about shortly. So please do stick around and hear more about the great city of Birmingham and Birmingham City University International College. Hello, so in this video, we will be talking about the great city of Birmingham and the location of Birmingham City University International College. So you'll see from the map of the UK on the right-hand side that Birmingham sits right in the middle of England, sandwiched between Manchester in the north and London in the south. But one of the great things about coming to Birmingham is it's the second largest city in the UK. But happily for us, the rents are a lot cheaper than those that you would find, for example, in London. So up to about 50% cheaper. So city living for a fraction of the cost. Birmingham is also incredibly young. It's an incredibly dynamic city and one of the most youthful cities in Europe, with approximately 80,000 students living in the great city of Birmingham. In addition to the young city, the young vibe that we have here in Birmingham, it's also incredibly diverse, which is amazing if you're looking, for example, for a place to go for dinner, and a new restaurant to try. The food scene here is second to none. So over 185 nationalities are represented in Birmingham, and about 50% of the population are ethnic minorities, so settled communities within Birmingham. We're also super lucky being in the middle of England that any student that comes to study with us is able to access the rest of the UK very, very quickly. The main train station here in Birmingham, Birmingham New Street Station, is a 12-minute walk from the city centre campus. So super easy to get to the train station and then to access the rest of the UK, which can be done in up to 4 hours. So awesome for students if they're wanting to gain some cultural excursions, some cultural trips around the UK. You may also have heard that Birmingham is the home of Peaky Blinders, and part of the film was recently filmed here in Birmingham, and we're known for a very cultural, very arts-focused city. So that's an introduction to the great city of Birmingham. Please stick around to hear more about Birmingham City University International College.
Hello, everybody. My name is Idara from BCIC. I'm the conversion manager here, and you'll be having lots of interactions with me going forward. I'm going to be talking to you today about why Birmingham and BCIC is different. So our campus is quite immersed in the center of the city, which makes us close to industry, innovation, which creates great opportunities for our students. As you can see from the picture there, that's a picture of our students right in the city center, showing the glory of Birmingham. And this picture, by the way, was taken by one of our students, and we are very proud of that. All right, so we do have industry standard facilities, so much so that industries do come to hire our facilities from time to time, which creates a good opportunity for us to get our students to interact with companies and sometimes volunteer for them, which speaks for their practical experience. So as you can see, for the Art, Design, and Media faculty, we do have our fashion and textile workshops. We have professional photography studios. We have machinery, metalwork, silversmithing, and we do have our green screens as well. We also do have radio studios managed by students. They also do have their podcasts that you can always tune into. For the business law and social sciences, we have our modern lecture spaces. We have our city trading room for the finance students, which is equipped with the latest industry software. So they can use that. And by the time they're graduating, they already have hands-on experience. We do have our open study areas throughout the campus as well, equipped with quiet areas and private rooms that students can book for their conversations and brainstorming with their colleagues. We also have laptops in lockers in different areas so that in the case where students, for some reason, is not able to bring their laptop to the campus, that is not going to be a deterrent to their studies. They can just borrow one and put it back when they finish. We do also have our magistrates courts and our crown courts for our law students to practice their case, plead their cases, and argue their cases as well. Next, we have our computing, engineering, and built environment faculty. They have their computer forensics labs where they do have their ethical hacking and so on. We have the industry right next to us, so the students are able to interact with people who are working and hear more about what it's like being in the industry. We have our Cisco Networking Academy and engineering workshops as well. Finally, we have our health, education, and life sciences faculty, which consists of mock wards with simulation mannequins. These mannequins are able to mimic certain health crises for the students to practice responding to real-life crises. We have our biomedical labs as well, and we do have volunteer patients come in for our students to practice on, and that counts their practical experience as well. We have for our midwifery students the ultrasounds equipment that they can use for their practicals. So stick around to hear more about us. Hello again. So here we're going to be talking about careers and how we are supporting our students to give them the best chance it is to have a career. So we are very intentional, not just about the theory parts, but the practicals as well. This can be seen in our placements. So depending on the course that the student is studying, they have the opportunity of having placements for every term. And some of the companies that our students have had placements in include, but not limited to, BBC, Cisco, IBM, NHS, Microsoft, and so on. We are also very keen about their employability. So our degrees are designed to address industry gaps, which means that we are constantly reviewing our modules. We have optional modules as well that can enable the students to craft their studies to suit their career goals. And we also embed enterprise projects as well into their curriculum, such as live briefs, interactions from real life companies, so that students are constantly engaging with employers. We also have very strong graduate support for our students. So even after graduation, the student is able to have contact and support from the university as well. So they have access to the career support department up to 3 years after graduation. We also have our Careers Plus scheme, which is designed to help our students with job searches, CV checks, workshops. Our students can attend some of the fairs that we have on campus are part-time job fairs, Black Business Marketplace. We have the big careers fairs, graduate jobs and placement fairs. And this is an opportunity for students to interact with employers, see what they're looking for in candidates, and even right from the first years, having conversations about their careers, which puts them in a really good position by the time they're interviewing for positions. We also have our Graduate Plus scheme, which is really an extracurricular award that helps our students to develop their personal and professional skills. So we do have our bronze, silver, gold, and platinum awards for the students. And this is based on the tasks that the students have completed. So they graduate from one onto the other. And this can be achieved over the entire degree. So attending the careers plus fair will also count towards a bronze award for the students. Stick around to hear more about BCUIC. With regards to accommodation, there's so much options available to the students because we are right in the city center, which means that we have great links to different parts of Birmingham. So even if the student isn't living right in the city center, they can easily commute to the campus. But with regards to the options that we do offer, so for the September intake, we have the Heights and the Hampstead campus available to students. With terms of rent, the approximate deposit amount is about £159, with approximately £159 per week cost. The length of the contract is typically from May to end of August for 2025 and September to July 2026. And these accommodations are within 10 minutes walk from the campus. So that's for the Heights. And then for Hampstead campus, that's about 45 minutes bus ride.
Hello and welcome back again. In this video, we are going to talk about the undergraduate academic requirements for students to progress on to Birmingham City University International College. So we have three entry points. So we have the foundation entry point, and normally for foundation, we would ask for the equivalent of 5 GCSE passes at grade A star to E, with at least 3 grades at C or number 4 or above, and only 1 grade E, which is a number 2, is permitted. For the international year 1, which we have in accounting, economics, business, and marketing, we would ask for the equivalent of 48 UCAS tariff points at GCE/AS level or equivalent. And then for the international year 1, in the built environment, computing, engineering, technology, or health sciences, we would ask for the equivalent of 80 UCAS tariff points. That's the undergraduate academic requirements. Now for the postgraduate academic requirements. So again, we have a number of entry points. We have 2 semester, 1 semester, and 3 semester. So for a 2-semester program in art management, the built environment, management, or media, we would normally ask, or typically ask, for a UK Higher National Diploma equivalent in a relevant subject area with a GPA grade of 2.3 on the 4.0 scale. For a 1-semester art management, built environment, business management, and media, we would ask for a UK bachelor's degree pass equivalent. For 2 or 3 semester in art, design, and fashion, again, minimum of a UK equivalent UK Higher National Diploma, GPA 2.3 on the scale of 4. And then for the 2 semester in the computing programs, again, minimum of a UK Higher National Diploma in a relevant subject where appropriate, and 2.3 out of 4 on the GPA scale. Hello and welcome back. So in this video, we are going to focus on our English language requirements for students to attend BCU International College. So for a foundation or a pre-masters, normally we would ask for IELTS of 5.5 with a minimum of 5.5 in each band. There are some exceptions to this. For example, our nursing program asks for a slightly higher requirement because of the accreditations that are attached to the program. For an international year 1, we would ask for an IELTS overall of 6.0 with a minimum of 5.5 in each band. And like I said, for the foundation in nursing, we have slightly higher requirement. So the IELTS of 6 with a minimum of 6 in each band. We do accept a number of English language qualifications in addition to the IELTS, and you can see those on the right-hand side of your screen. You can also use the QR code on the left-hand side, which will take you to the list of the full list of the accepted English language qualifications. We will exempt students from IELTS in certain circumstances if they can demonstrate that they've graduated in the UK, for example, with a bachelor's degree, and if they've studied in a majority English language speaking country as defined by UKVI. We also, at BCU IC, offer an internal BCU English language test. And for the 2025-26 intake, this test is free. All you need to do is be in touch with us direct and let us know that your student would like to avail of the BCUIC internal test, and we will sign the student up for that test. There are a couple of dates on the screen here that are coming up. So the next test is on the 1st of April, followed by the 25th of April. In addition, for the May intake, we also have a free 2-week PSC program for students who have already qualified for the university, and it's a way to introduce students to the different accents and the different type of language that we use in a social context. I hope that helps, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Hello again, and welcome again to BCUIC. In this video, we are going to focus on the CAS requirements and the documentation that we require in order to request a CAS from the university. So as you probably know, we offer a through CAS, which covers students for any pre-sessional English and also for their main course of study, either foundation or a pre-masters. For the CAS, we do ask for bank statements. For example, they need to include the name and logo of the bank and the account details and the currency that the account is held in. For any students who submit bank statements that are not in English, we do ask that those bank statements are translated into English. Now, there's lots of information to go through on the CAS, so I would recommend that you do check out the website, which has got quite detailed information on what's required. So, for example, it gives information on the account types that we can accept, the fact that we can only accept from an approved financial institution, so we cannot accept from a microfinance bank, for example, and that if the student is using a parent's bank statement, we need to see the financial consent letter and the birth certificate to prove the relationship between the student, the applicant, and the parents. Now, if a student is using an education loan to pay for their studies, there are also rules and regulations around this as well. So, for example, the loan must cover the first year amount, and the loan mustn't have any conditions on it other than the disbursement requirements, and it can't be taken out against a fixed deposit. It can be against property or other assets, though. So that's the education loan. When it comes to fixed deposits, there are similar rules again, so it must be from an approved financial institution. Again, we cannot accept from a microfinance bank. We also need to see that the fixed deposit has been maintained for at least 28 days, similar to the bank statement, and the maturity of the fixed deposit must be valid when the student applies for their CAS and their visa. Again, for more information, please do look on the website. So in addition to the financial documentation, there are also some other documents that we ask for as well. So for example, we can ask for TB, and there's a link there to the government website, which lists all the countries that we require a TB certificate from. If a student is under 18, we also request that the student has a guardian who will be in the UK, is over 25 and can attend enrolment at the university with the student. The guardian can be a relative, but they cannot be in the UK on a student visa or a visitor visa. And again, there's more information about this on the website if you have a student who is under 18. For study at Birmingham City University International College, student must be 17 when they enroll with us. So what do you do after the CAS? So the CAS has been issued. We recommend that the student applies for the visa immediately and only applies with the same documents that have been used for the CAS application, and to prepare for an interview in case you are called. We have some great documentation online and even a video which can talk you through that process. Keep us updated as well. Let us know if the student is contacted by UKVI, is asked to attend a UKVI interview, or additional documentation is requested by UKVI of the student. And once the student has received a visa decision, let us know. Hopefully it's successful, and that's a great moment of joy that we can celebrate with the student. And also let us know the travel date that the student will be coming to the UK. I hope that's been of interest. Please do look at the website for further information. Stick around for a bit more.
Now let's talk about the tuition fee. So for the academic year 2025-2026, we do have our 1 semester foundation cost for £10,000, and the 2 semester foundation is £15,000, while the 3 semester foundation is £19,500. And the first year is £16,000. The pre-master's first semester is also £10,000 like the foundation. The 2 semester pre-masters is £16,000, and the 3 semester pre-masters is £19,500 as well. Now, in terms of tuition deposit, what we do require is the first semester fees for the program you're applying for. Now, we do understand that coming to study in the UK is quite a huge financial endeavor, so we have put in some support to help our students. We have our subject-based discount. So for students who are coming to study arts, design and media, architecture, biomedical sciences, economics and law, we have £1,000 discount available for these students. Please do keep in mind, however, that there are only a limited number of slots available, so the sooner to apply, the better. There's also the early bird discount worth £500. This is available up until the 7th of April for students who are applying for the May intake, and for the September students, this is available up until 1st of August. So don't forget, we have our free BCU internal English test as well. So let's play a scenario here. For example, say Shafwat from Bangladesh has an offer to study law in May of 2025. Maybe their IELTS certificate has expired, so they need to take the BCU internal English test, and they pay their deposit before the 1st of April. What this really means is that Shafwat would have received £1,565 worth of discount, which is over 10% of her tuition, original tuition fee. That's very good. I would take advantage of that for my students. We also have our scholarships as well. So we have our Women in STEAM scholarship, basically for female students who are coming to study science, technology, engineering, or arts courses. This is worth £2,500. So the students will need to put in an application, and we'll talk more about that later. We also have our college director's scholarship as well. We have 2 slots available for this, worth £3,000 each for each student. It will be awarded to a student who has been selected by our college director, and the students need to have demonstrated public service and community service. The mode of application is by submitting an essay to demonstrate this. We have our film production scholarship as well. So this has 3 slots available for individual scholarships, and this is available for our May, September, or January intake. It's worth £2,500, and it will be selected. Recipients will be selected by the senior art tutor. They would need to submit a film or reel demonstrating their skills, and then the senior art tutor will make the final decision. All right, that's it with regards that. We also have our progression scholarship. So this scholarship is basically designed to help motivate our students to be able to take the academics seriously, because we want to be able to brag about them. And it's always a good thing for everyone to see students who are progressing. So we've designed this scholarship basically for students so that students who are able to achieve 70 to 79.9% of their overall grades when they progress to BCU are able to take advantage of £1,000 discount, and students who have over 80% and above are able to get £1,500 discounts towards their tuition fee when progressing to BCU. Now, it's worth noting that this tuition is only available to foundation students and students who are not being sponsored by government, organization, or companies. So basically self-sponsored students. So for May intake, we do have our importance date as the early bird discount for 7th of April. The application deadline is 28th of April, and the payment deadline is the 30th of April.
So we've reached the end of the BCUIC training, and I'd like to thank you all for taking the time to listen to all of the training videos. It's fantastic that you've done that. A few takeaways from me, just to remind you that at BCUIC, we offer a through CAS, which covers students for their pre-sessional English and their course with us and their course at the university. We have a number of discounts, scholarships, and incentives to support students in their academic studies. And we have a fantastic career and a Careers Plus platform for students to avail of as soon as they join BCUIC. If you'd like to learn more, then please do go to the website, which is bcuic.bcu.ac.uk. And we hope to see your students with us in the great city of Birmingham sometime soon. Thank you very much.
And welcome to the range of training videos on ICP and the University of Portsmouth. My name is Noemi Plumridge. I'm the Director of Marketing and Admissions at ICP, the University of Portsmouth. ICP is the embedded college to the University of Portsmouth. We've been on campus for 15 years. We're extremely proud to be so integrated to everything at the University of Portsmouth and feel so part of the university. We have a fantastic relationship with the university, and that benefits our students with no end. So thank you for watching this, and please watch all the other videos to find out more about ICP and the University of Portsmouth. Thank you. Hello, in this video, you will find out more about why Portsmouth and why this is a great destination for students. Portsmouth as a city is an amazing place for students. It is located 17 miles from London, a short 90 minutes train from central London. So the location and the access to sort of the capital of England is a major selling point for the city itself. It is a city centre campus, so that is very different to other universities where the campus might be a standalone campus outside of the city or just completely separated from the city. In Portsmouth, the campus is built within the city, so you'll have university buildings, but you will also have city centre buildings. So it's always very busy, there's always a buzz, there's always lots going on, but that makes going from one place to the other very easy. And students also have everything they need on their doorstep. So that's something our students mention as a real advantage of Portsmouth as a city, the fact that it's built within the city centre. It's also a very affordable city to live in, and I will cover that in the next slide so I can share a bit more details. You can see from the pictures here, it is a seaside city. So we're located right on the south coast. We're located at the sort of on a harbour as well. So the city of Portsmouth is actually a harbour city. And we also have miles and miles of beach going sort of extending through the southern side of the city. Again, this is something students really enjoy, that freshness from the sea and the ability to sort of enjoy city life, but also a seaside life. And it has got very good transport links to the rest of the UK, but also Europe. As a harbour city, there are different ferries that go from Portsmouth to the rest of Europe, including France, Spain, the Channel Islands. Another very important fact is in terms of why I choose Portsmouth is the range of accolades that are that make Portsmouth really special. So for 2025, the top it was ranked top 50 in the Complete University Guide. The University of Portsmouth is also a 5-star rated university, including in the QS top universities ranking. You can see lots of the different accolades on the screen right now, but I think what is really important as well is that the University of Portsmouth is a TEF Gold University. That means a lot to most students. It's very important for students to be aware of that. Something also really relevant for students is employability. You know, you want to come to the UK, you want to study a degree, but you want to get a good job on the other side. 95% of graduates are in work or further studies when they've graduated from the University of Portsmouth. That is the latest data we have. So that's extremely important for students to know that. There are career and employability services on campus available for students to access so they can secure part-time jobs, internships, placements, graduate jobs. Myself, as a University of Portsmouth graduate a few years back, I was able to benefit from the services available at the University of Portsmouth to secure my first 2 jobs. So it's really important for students to be able to have that sort of service available and to make most of it. Cost of living, I mentioned that a couple of slides ago. Very important for students. We see more and more students are cost conscious. They need to know how much everything is going to cost them and whether they have enough money at the end of the month to still buy their food. The University of Portsmouth and the city of Portsmouth itself have always been sort of voted in the top few cities in the country for most affordable cities to live in, according to the NatWest Student Living Index. So that's extremely relevant when students are looking for affordable places to study, not looking just at tuition fees, but looking at living expenses. You know, how much is it going to cost me to rent? How much is it going to cost me to shop? But also one of the most important factor with the city of Portsmouth is it's an island city. It's not huge in distance. And the fact that the campus is a city center campus, everyone can walk everywhere. So there is no need to use public transport. There is no need to use trains or anything like that. You can just walk to campus. And that's a huge selling cost for students. The university has got a free university bus that runs across the city. So students are able to go from one end to the other for free. But really, you'll see everyone walking around in Portsmouth. And that's an amazing thing to see. We're a very environmental friendly city. But just I'll pick up a couple of facts. The housing rent in Portsmouth is 58% lower than in London. That's a University Living Index in 2023. That's a really a big difference here. And also in terms of basic household bills, there would be about half the cost from what you would get in London. Eating out, meals, etc., also a lot cheaper. So I think this really helps to sort of position Portsmouth in terms of costing. Thank you for listening. I will see you in the next video.
I think Portsmouth is very forward-thinking.
It's got such a really friendly atmosphere, and even though it's a city, it's quite a small city, so it feels really welcoming and homely.
When I first came to the open day for Portsmouth, I instantly fell in love with it.
When the sun is shining, there is nowhere better than Portsmouth. Welcome to Portsmouth, the UK's only island city and home to the University of Portsmouth.
Join us today as we show you some of our favourite spots so you can take advantage of studying at the heart of our community.
It's a very cosmopolitan city, it's got so much to offer.
You have the commercial road, you have the city centre and the hub where it's all lively.
Student nightlife's really good. You've got lots of nightclubs, lots of stuff to do.
But then as soon as you come to Southsea, it's more of like a lazy seaside town, like you get to go to the beach.
You just have to go down to the beach or the common on a sunny day and everyone's having picnics, it's just beautiful.
Filling up for the day, you're absolutely spoiled for choice.
Everyone I know has a different favorite cafe spot.
We've got you covered for freshly roasted coffee, donuts, fish and chips, vegan food, and artisan bread.
And that's before we even get to the restaurants and bars. Cheers.
Okay, shopping. I love to shop local myself, and your top spots for that are Palmerston Road, Marmion Road, or here, Castle Road.
Commercial Road has it set for your shopping essentials. Or pop down to Southsea for charity shop bargains and quirky independent businesses to browse for something unique.
Or join us in Gunwharf Quays, Portsmouth's waterfront shopping centre, to check in on your favourite brand outlets or catch the lights at Christmas.
I love that kind of vibrancy of the city.
It's got a real independent spirit about it.
I think it's got a really good mix of independent businesses.
There's so many local independent businesses.
Entertainment activities in terms of lots of bars and restaurants and loads of cool places to eat.
There's so much to do right here in the place you live.
There's an island's worth of beautiful coast to explore and unique green spaces like Canoe Lake and the Rose Garden to enjoy with your friends, or by yourself as a space for study or reflection.
Or for something a little different, you could wander into an art gallery, try an escape room, or book a table with your friends at Dice, the local board game cafe.
And don't forget the nights. There's a ton of live music events happening every week, as well as karaoke, comedy nights, and live theatre.
There's lots of cultural events, there's art galleries, there's music venues.
And then there's so many shows. You've got kite festivals,
food festivals.
The big one that really helps the town is Victoria's Festival.
It is such a really lovely community.
And I think after you've been here a while, you feel part of the community.
Just makes you feel like you're at home away from home.
Portsmouth is a one-of-a-kind place, a place for you to explore and thrive.
There's something for everyone here, and we can't wait for you to be part of it.
To find out more about our city, book an open day and get exploring, visit port.ac.uk.
Website was like, Leanne, unlock your potential.
Yeah.
Change the world.
No pressure then.
2 chocolate ice creams, please.
Welcome to Portsmouth,
The UK's only island city. Ah, holes, sweet holes. You're home away from home.
City stuff, that way.
Beaches, big ships, candy floss, fun times.
That way.
Portsmouth's a place where you can explore futures that you could fall in love with.
Then change the world. Later.
Innovator.
Movie maker.
City trader.
Lifesaver.
Investigator.
Whatever success looks like for you.
Stability.
Choice.
Freedom.
Portsmouth is the place to find it.
And that's not all you'll find.
Find yourself at sunrise on the seashore.
Find the ones who really get you.
Find your balance!
Find the help you need if life just gets on top of you.
Find the time and space to pick a career that suits you.
How's your CV coming along?
Or you could just chill and relax, you know?
Be free to try new things.
Because this is your time to find your fire. Yeah! And this is your place to just be yourself.
And from this unique community,
on this island city,
you can go anywhere. It's your time. Yes, you.
It's your place.
One of the things I was most nervous about was probably making friends.
Making friends.
Making new friends.
Coming to university is quite nerve-wracking, and I wasn't sure if I was going to meet people that were like-minded or be as social as I wanted to be.
Being an international student is quite scary, coming to a whole new country, a whole new environment, a whole new culture, and not really knowing anyone.
Leaving my home, leaving my family was hard. I think we can all agree. Moving out and starting completely afresh in a new place with new people is exciting but can be scary as well.
But there are a lot of ways to make connection. Now, that will take the pressure off that first week.
For a starter, you can join our Discord server where you can link up with your future course mates.
The group will be joined by student guides and staff members who can answer any questions you have, help you build confidence and prepare you towards the new year.
I found friends through classes,
church,
socialise your nights out,
my halls of residence,
organised events.
I went to Freshers Fair and I joined women's rugby because I found so many people that were like me, weren't like me, but we all had the common interest that we wanted to play rugby.
So many friendships for life are formed at university sports clubs every year. And there really is something for everyone. Casual or competitive, team sports or yoga, football or Quidditch.
One of the best societies is the Malayali Society.
First Aid Society. A medical society.
By far basketball.
100% volleyball.
Dodgeball.
Gymnastics and trampolining society.
There are over 140 societies here in Portsmouth. We've got cultural events, performing arts, activism, and so on. For example, I was a part of the Indian Society. We organized festivals like Diwali, Holi, and even sometimes Bollywood nights.
And to get head start, just head over to the Students' Union website, fill in the details in the form so they can send you the relevant links to societies before you arrive.
The first day I was there, I was about to make dinner and I was going to make pasta, but I didn't know how long to cook it for, so I called up to ask how long to cook pasta for.
I couldn't turn on the induction oven and I had to call my dad about it, and it turned out to be a switch on the wall.
I'm a crybaby when I get sick. So a small thing, even if it's a headache, I will call my mom that, "Ma, what can I do?"
Moving away from home for the first time can be a sharp learning curve.
But Res Life will be there to help you settle in with support, pastoral care, and help you make those early connections with your flatmates.
We're talking games, quiz nights and movie nights.
Karaoke and even cake decorating.
One of the hardest things I found about university is the finances.
Managing my own expenses.
I solely relied on my student loan and I didn't get a part-time job.
It's kind of hard because it's completely different currencies.
And it's trying to figure out how that's going to last you for the rest of the term.
Coming back home, not seeing my parents home, that was really hard for me.
Personally, having anxiety, I find it quite hard to talk to people. So that initial engagement with people was very difficult. I'm now best friends with the first person that came to me at uni.
I would say being independent is one of the hardest things about starting uni, because when you're in uni, you're not in charge of your own time, you're in charge of your own schedule, you're in charge of your finances and a lot more.
Starting university is a really exciting time, but it also comes with its challenges too.
Being away from family and friends and adjusting to a new workload, maybe a new culture.
We want you to know that we're here to support you, no matter what the circumstances are.
Every student expects to be treated with respect and dignity, and we provide the means in case you're facing any difficulties or challenges.
We're a global, friendly community.
And we are all happy that you're here.
Welcome to the University of Portsmouth.
We are happy you have chosen to study here.
We can't wait to meet you all soon.
I think Portsmouth is very forward-thinking.
It's got such a really friendly atmosphere, and even though it's a city, it's quite a small city, so it feels really welcoming and homely.
When I first came to the open day for Portsmouth, I instantly fell in love with it.
When the sun is shining, there is nowhere better than Portsmouth.
Welcome to Portsmouth, the UK's only island city and home to the University of Portsmouth.
Join us today as we show you some of our favourite spots so you can take advantage of studying at the heart of our community.
It's a very cosmopolitan city, it's got so much to offer.
You have the commercial road, you have the city centre and the hub where it's all lively.
Student nightlife's really good. You've got lots of nightclubs, lots of stuff to do.
But then as soon as you come to Southsea, it's more of like a lazy seaside town, like you get to go to the beach.
You just have to go down to the beach or the common on a sunny day and everyone's having picnics, it's just beautiful.
Filling up for the day, you're absolutely spoiled for choice.
Everyone I know has a different favorite cafe spot.
We've got you covered for freshly roasted coffee, donuts, fish and chips, vegan food, and artisan bread.
And that's before we even get to the restaurants and bars.
Cheers.
Okay, shopping. I love to shop local myself, and your top spots for that are Palmerston Road, Marmion Road, or here, Castle Road.
Commercial Road has it set for your shopping essentials. Or pop down to Southsea for charity shop bargains and quirky independent businesses to browse for something unique.
Or join us in Gunwharf Quays, Portsmouth's waterfront shopping centre, to check in on your favourite brand outlets, or catch the lights at Christmas.
I love that kind of vibrancy of the city.
It's got a real independent spirit about it.
I think it's got a really good mix of independent businesses.
There's so many local independent businesses.
Entertainment activities in terms of lots of bars and restaurants and loads of cool places to eat.
There's so much to do right here in the place you live.
There's an island's worth of beautiful coast to explore and unique green spaces like Canoe Lake and the Rose Garden to enjoy with your friends, or by yourself as a space for study or reflection.
Or for something a little different, you could wander into an art gallery. Try an escape room or book a table with your friends at Dice, the local board game cafe.
And don't forget the nights. There's a ton of live music events happening every week, as well as karaoke, comedy nights, and live theatre.
There's lots of cultural events, there's art galleries, there's music venues.
And then there's so many shows. You've got kite festivals.
Food festivals.
The big one that really helps the town is Victoria's Festival.
It is such a really lovely community.
And I think after you've been here a while, you feel part of the community.
Just makes you feel like you're at home away from home.
Portsmouth is a one-of-a-kind place, a place for you to explore and thrive.
There's something for everyone here, and we can't wait for you to be part of it.
To find out more about our city, book an open day and get exploring, visit port.ac.uk.
My number one essential item have to be some way of making notes in your lectures and seminars.
My personal one would be take an extension lead, because you never know where your plugs are gonna be.
I would say decorations for my room. Like fairy lights can change your whole room.
In order to make my room more cozy and to feel more at home, I brought a lot of printed photos with me of friends and family.
The one best thing about living in Portsmouth is the seaside.
It's such a safe option to say the beach, but it is true. It is true.
You can just easily go to the beach during your study break or in the evenings with your friends.
I love that the university buildings are kind of amongst the city, so you feel part of the life here in Portsmouth.
I'm a big kind of history fan, so there's all the kind of museums down on the beachfront, the D-Day Museum, and then you've got the dockyard where they've got like the Mary Rose Museum.
There is also a really nice park behind Guildhall. You can use that for like little study sessions, get the most of the sun and stuff, and it's really like wholesome.
The first thing you should do when you get to university is collect your student card, hop onto the bus and go for a city tour to explore the city, and the most important thing is go to Freshers Fair to get free food.
The Freshers Fair is an opportunity for you to check out lots of different stalls, and you might even get some freebies. Last year I got some free pizza, which was just beautiful.
Definitely check out the Freshers Fair at the Students' Union, because you can get to know all of the societies that you could join.
It's a really good way to meet other new students joining, as well as starting to find your way around the university before your lectures start, so you're not just thrown straight into the deep end and you can't find anything.
I joined a lot of different group chats before coming to university, such as ones for my accommodation, ones for my course, as well as just kind of general university group chat.
In Freshers Week there's loads of trials and Give Me Sport, where you can try all the different sports societies. I joined hockey and I've made so many friends and had such a great experience in first year because of it.
My closest friends personally were my flatmates, and I've really got close to my course mates as well. But I know for other people it was joining societies, meeting people in literally the most random ways sometimes.
One of my really good friends at university is the first person that I sat next to, and that is only because we got talking and introduced ourselves, found out a bit more about each other. So yeah, just be bold and get talking to people.
Towards the Christmas season I started feeling a bit homesick because I was missing some of the traditions from home. I either called friends or family from home, or I started recreating traditions from home with my new friends at university. So that made me feel a lot better.
I think at these times it's really important to remember there's always family and friends you can call or go see if you are really struggling. The student wellbeing service is always available if you need to chat. I think it's really important to make the use of all of these to really help with the homesickness. Remember, everyone is in the same boat. Everyone's starting at a new place, everyone's nervous.
Make the most of that kind of time before university properly starts, where you're kind of introduced to university life.
This is a thing that I wish that I was told, is that when you first move to uni, likely it will be on a massive high, you're meeting all these new people, it's an exciting experience. But I think quite quick into that, there is also a low with it. But the truth is that is just what uni is like for everyone. It's literally just adjusting. So I think just knowing that that is a normal thing to experience, actually a healthy thing as well, just like processing your surroundings as well. But it is an amazing experience overall.
At uni, you want to figure
Hello, welcome to the ICP video. This time we will be talking about our campus. In a previous video, I mentioned that the campus of the University of Portsmouth is a city centre campus. So all the buildings are sort of built within the city of Portsmouth. What is really exciting to see as well is that the University of Portsmouth is making huge investments into its facilities. There is a £400 million estates master plan that is currently underway, where there are significant investments in facilities. So the Raveling Sports Centre, for example, is a brand new centre that opened in 2023 includes a swimming pool, fitness suite, climbing wall, bouldering, ski simulator. It is a masterpiece of a building. It also won Best Leisure Project at the AJ Architecture Award in 2023. So as students have access to it, they get a really good monthly deal. It's state-of-the-art facility and it's amazing. It's such a great addition to the campus. There are significant other developments currently taking place in the university as well. And I think one of the really lovely side of the campus is that there is a mix of old traditional buildings that are sort of listed and some new modern building as well. So there is really a lovely mix of facilities and buildings available for students. We've touched base on the sports facilities, but there are so much more for students to sort of make most of it. I mentioned the careers and employability services, all the accommodation options that are all sort of within the walking distance of the campus as well. So for students, it's very, very easy to sort of get around the campus on foot, as I mentioned in the previous video. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Hello, welcome to the next ICP video. In this video, we will be talking about the programs and the fees for all ICP courses. So ICP offer a range of pathways to the University of Portsmouth. So we have some foundation courses, some year one and pre-top-up courses, and some pre-masters. Across the different levels of studies we offer, we cover every faculties of the University of Portsmouth and pretty much can offer any type of courses from A to Z. So there really is something for everyone at the University of Portsmouth and in the ICP pathways. If we look at the foundation, we have a range of courses available from accounting, architecture, business, computing, humanities, media and games technology, engineering, law, mathematics, nursing, property and surveying, and science. The fee for the 2 semester averages from £15,750 to £17,600 based on whether it is lab-based or more classroom-based. We also have a range of 1 semester foundation courses available in our businesses and accounting courses, and these are £9,150. We have just launched the nursing pathway, which is brand new, started early January 2025. And I think what's important to mention in our science pathways, we have some health science courses such as pharmacy, dental hygiene, and dental therapy. Engineering, we have an option which is very, very topical at the moment, is AI. We have an undergrad course in robotics and AI. Looking at the year one course, again, we have loads of different options available from accounting, business, computing, engineering, law, which is new, property and surveying, and science. And a pre-top-up. The pre-top-up is the equivalent of entry into a year 2 that will lead you into the top-ups at the University of Portsmouth, which we have in business. The fees on average will be £16,000 to £17,600. Finally, our pre-masters, which are 1 semester only, average from £9,100 to £9,350. And again, we offer a range of courses in art, architecture and design, business, education, finance, international relations and criminal justice, logistics, and science and tech. We have a range of intakes in January, June, and September. So we will have something for everyone at every intake. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you at the next video. Hello and welcome to the next installment of the ICP videos. In this video, we'll talk to you about how to find the information you need on our website. Very simply, if you go to port.ac.uk/ICP, you'll be able to find all the information you need, whether that is all the pathways that we offer, what is available from a support side, so the college services, support that we're able to provide to all of our students, some testimonials and videos from previous students, but you will also be able to look at the entry requirements. We list on there every country, so you'll be able to see whether what you have studied will allow you to get an offer letter from ICP. So you can select your country and see what is required before you even submit an application. Finally, you can apply directly on our website and upload all of your documents on the application platform, so we can then process your offer on the other side. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you in the next video. Hello, and thank you for listening to this video. In this video, we will be looking at admissions and in more details what is required for every level at ICP. We mentioned in a video of how to navigate the website that you were able to see entry requirements for every country. So you could see whether what you've studied will allow you to apply for a foundation, a year one courses, a pre-top up, or a pre-masters. To cover this more generically, if we look at foundation courses, we usually ask for 5 GCSEs or year 11 equivalency or the MYP or IB certificate. So if you've got anything as such, or anything that is equivalent to this qualification, the likelihood is you'll be able to get an offer for foundation. Year 1 courses, we look at anything that is sort of A-level equivalent, sort of year 12, year 13 equivalency, the IB certificate or the IB diploma. So again, if you think you've met the requirements for this, just send us all the documents you have and we can look at it. Year 2 pre-top up is a little bit more specific. For pre-top up, we need students to have achieved 120 credits at level 4 or equivalent to get into a 2-semester pre-top up, or 180 credits at level 4 and 5 for the 1-semester pre-top up. Finally, for pre-master's level, you need to have achieved a 3rd class honors degree or equivalent. So HNDs in some part of the world can be accepted, but they'll need sort of a slightly higher grade. Thank you for listening, and I will see you in the next video. Hello, and thank you for joining this new video where we will be looking at English criteria. This is something we get asked so regularly, is what do you accept? What do I need to show from an English perspective to be able to join ICP and the University of Portsmouth? We have a range of options available. For foundation, year 1 and pre-top up, we can accept an IELTS of 5.5 with minimum 5.5 in every band, or a PTE of 59 points, or local Englishes as well. So for example, if you've got a GCSE English or equivalent to GCSE English, we can also accept that. And we also accept Duolingo at 95 points over. For the pre-masters, we ask for slightly higher than that. So anything equivalent to IELTS 6.0 with 5.5 in every band, PTs of 59 with sort of an overall of 62 and every band at 59. Again, local Englishes can be accepted. Potentially, if you've studied in English already, that can also be accepted. And Duolingo with no bands below 95. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you in the next video. Hello, and thank you for joining this new video on our scholarships and bursaries available at ICP. This is a question we get asked very regularly, is what can I get as discount, scholarship when I join ICP? We have a range of discounts available, which is really exciting. So for the September and January intake, we're able to offer global development bursaries averaging from £1,000 to £2,000. You need to fill discount claim form, which we send a link to students for, and then this is all based on merit and also first come first serve basis. So once we have allocated all of the scholarships, there's sadly no more available, but if you apply soon enough, you should be able to get the discount. We also have an EU transition discount. So our EU students are able to also pay the same fees as home students of £9,535 per year. Finally, within the Navitas group, we're very excited to offer a family bursary. So if you have a sibling who has studied at ICP or any other Navitas colleges, you'll be able to get a 10% discount on your tuition fees. Thank you so much for listening, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Hello, and thank you for joining us on this video, where we will be talking about our awesome student services team and the support available to our students. Very central to ICP and being an ICP student and coming to the UK is the support we're able to give to our students. And we pride ourselves at ICP with the amount of support we give to students, but that sort of one-on-one approach to make students feel at home, feel welcome, and feel supported on a daily basis. So we have a dedicated team of college services officers who are based at ICP. They're the first point of contact for all of our students. We have an office open from Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 5, and students can come in with anything they need. Students are able to take part in our student council activities every sort of intake, whether they want to be on the council and therefore voted by students, or just contribute to ideas which help ICP sort of develop new projects, but also support the students even further. The team organizes trips all over the UK. There's different sports sessions organized, some football, some basketball, netball, as well as different trips across sort of main monuments of the city of Portsmouth. Something that is really important, the college services team monitors the students very, very closely on a daily basis on all sorts of different elements. So we're looking at academic, we're looking at attendance, we're looking at behavior, under 18s, and well-being. These are all critical because unless we are monitoring the students and checking in with them, we won't know if anything is not going right. So that sort of daily monitoring and support of students means that we're able to really help students get the best of their experience here. And everything culminates every year with our annual awards evening, which is held once a year, which is a chance to reward and recognize our amazing students. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you in the next video. Hello, thank you for listening to the ICP video. In this video, we will be looking at the academic support that we offer to our students. So there's a range of services available to every single student who come and study at ICP, from different workshops, whether they're English language workshop, exam skills, lab report, math booster workshops, to one-on-one assessment for students who need extra support, to the predicted grades program, which halfway through the semester will look at students' grades and will help us to predict whether students are on track for passing or not. And then therefore, if they're not on track for passing, we put a whole plan together to support the students for the rest of the semester to get them over that finish line. We also work really closely with ASDAC at the University of Portsmouth, which is the Additional Support and Disability Advice Team, to ensure we are supporting the students as much as we can. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you in the next video. Hello and welcome to this video where we will be talking about student accommodation. This is a really important part of students' life. They're coming, of course, in the UK to study, but where they live is going to be equally as important. We are really pleased to be able to offer a very wide range of options for students. There are lots of halls of residence across the city, all within walking distance of the campus. So for students to be able to live in, there are some private accommodations available as well. So if students would rather live in a shared house with other students, they can do that as well. On average, the accommodation fees will be from about just over £100. That is probably more if you're living in private housing, to 180, and sometimes a little bit higher if you're looking for more luxury sort of living in halls. So then some of the halls will have penthouses and studio pluses, which will be a little bit more expensive. But on average, for halls of residence, looking at anything between 160 to 180 is quite a good bulk figure to sort of consider. All the bills are included in the rent, so you do not have to worry about that. And in terms of further expenses to consider, food, traveling across the city, phone bills, any insurances students want to take TV license maybe, and then social activities, means that the students might spend an extra £80–100 more per week on sort of things beyond just the accommodation. So I hope this was a useful quick oversight of accommodation, and I will see you in the next video. Hello, and thank you for watching this video where we will talk about clubs and societies. Now, we're extremely lucky at the University of Portsmouth because there are over 150 different clubs and societies. So there really is something for everyone. Whether you're more into debating or singing or choirs or book reading, book clubs, there will be something for you. If you're looking more for sports clubs, the range of options available is amazing, from athletics, basketball, obviously football, rowing, snowboarding, snow sports, rugby, rowing, swimming, and so on. The options for students are amazing. When we look at the different sports societies, students are able to make most of the outstanding facilities at our new Ravelin Sports Centre. And I think that has really lifted the University of Portsmouth to the next level. So thank you so much for listening, and I will see you in the next video. Hello, and thank you for watching this final video of our series on ICP and the University of Portsmouth. Before we let you go, I just wanted to, first of all, thank you so much for watching all the other videos that were available on the platform. We're really grateful for the time you've taken to watch everything, to learn a little bit more about ICP and the University of Portsmouth. I'm hoping by watching these videos, you've gained some information and some knowledge that maybe you weren't aware of before. First of all, location. You would have seen from the video, the location of Portsmouth is ideal. We're very close to London, but we're far enough so it's cheaper to live in. We're at a southern coast location, so we do enjoy some of the best weather in the UK. And the fact we are on the seafront, so we have miles and miles of beach, appeals to students with no end. So I think that is something really important to remember from what you've watched on ICP and the University of Portsmouth. Secondly, there is such a wide range of courses available, from foundation to year 1 courses to pre-top up, year 2 courses, and pre-masters. There really is something for everyone. And as I mentioned, in terms of the different options available, we cover every faculties at the University of Portsmouth and every sort of sub-schools also at the university. So there really is. We always say that, and I've repeated and I've said it several times already, but there is something for everyone in Portsmouth. Finally, fantastic diversity. The city of Portsmouth itself is a massive melting pot of cultures, but the university is exactly the same. There are over 100 nationalities at any time on campus. And you will see students from your country, but also from everywhere in the world. So that is such a big part of what we do, what we sell, that diversity. And we're really proud to see students from so many countries joining us at the University of Portsmouth. So again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch all of the videos. We hope you find it useful. And we look forward to seeing you someday in Portsmouth. Thank you so much.
I don't think I would be the young lady or the athlete I am without the University of Portsmouth.
I wanted to study at the University of Portsmouth because I think they really nurtured people's individual styles.
There was endless opportunities. I got to experience so many different things, meet so many different people and see so many different aspects of the industry just from the course itself.
It was just a really lovely atmosphere.
Since I graduated, incredibly, it's kind of been in my life over the last 25 years.
We were the biggest class in the whole of the Polytechnic in those days. There were 42 of us. It made it easy for me to make friends amongst people who were half my age, and some I still see today.
There were so many injustices in the world. I thought it was really important to try and make a change, and that set me up really well to help me get to where I am now.
I did my undergraduate degree in sport and exercise science at the University of Portsmouth, and I've also done a master's in sports performance. The staff at Portsmouth are kind of what makes the degree at Portsmouth. The attitude, the enthusiasm and just passion for what they do, a big key point for me.
I love this city for everything that it has given me, for everything that it stands for.
I'm originally from Bulgaria. Having lots of international students, including students from Bulgaria, I found a lot of confidence in being able to mingle and find kind of like a support bubble.
Once I finished and I realized that I studied and achieved the degree not on my native language, I felt really strong.
I now, professionally, as my job, do the thing I really like to do. That's all because of the uni.
For me, it was one of the best choices I ever made.
What stood out to me the most when it came to my time at Portsmouth was just the amount of support the lecturers gave.
Whether it was a small issue, a large issue, a research issue, a life issue, I found them really, really supportive the entire way.
I don't think I'd be where I'm at today without the level of support that the University of Portsmouth's given me.
I think people should never be afraid to try new experiences and should overcome their fears.
I think any education establishment, which has certainly shaped my foundation of my success, you will have a soft spot for. So I won't say it's family, but it kind of is.
Hi, my name is Gaia and I'm a master's student studying criminal psychology with forensic investigation here at the University of Portsmouth. Entering the second term of university can pose new challenges for everyone, especially when daylight is still quite limited, so it can really affect our mood. So today I'm going to be sharing some of my top tips on how to beat the winter blues as a university student. So if you do like the sound of today's video, make sure to go click that like button and subscribe for more student content like this video. My first top tip is all around exercise. As a student, I know it can be really tempting just to want to curl up in your bed when it's cold instead of working out. However, exercise releases endorphins, which in turn makes you feel happy and lessens depressive feelings. Studies have also shown that regular exercise reduces stress levels and improves self-esteem and mood. It doesn't even have to be an intense workout either, just going for a small walk will aid you massively. My next top tip is to meet up with friends regularly. This can be something as simple as just going for a coffee or having a group study session in the library. Or alternatively, you could go and do something a bit more active and fun, like going bowling or going to the cinema or for a lovely walk down near the beach. When you're feeling low, it's really important to stay connected. Even if you're someone who prefers alone time, it's still really good to get out and see others just to make sure that you don't become too isolated. Another really important tip is to ensure you're putting healthy things in your body. After the winter break, it can be really tempting to carry on eating sugary and fatty foods, but these will make you more prone to tiredness and lack of energy. Instead, balance carbohydrates and sugar with fruit and vegetables. Personally, I love making myself a smoothie in the morning to take with me to lectures. Not only is this a much healthier option, but it's also a lifesaver, especially since I'm one of those people that doesn't really like to eat breakfast, but would rather eat like slightly later in the day, like 10 or 11. But by that point, I've got a lecture and the last thing you want is your stomach rumbling when the lecturer is speaking, you know? Even just knowing I've made the smoothie, it makes me feel so accomplished and like just lifts my mood so much because I know I'm actively making steps to look after myself. Also try to eat food and supplements that have vitamin D in them. In the winter months we don't get as much vitamin D naturally because there isn't as much sun, so it's really important to restore that through food. Another way to get vitamin D though is to obviously go out and make sure you're getting as much daylight as possible. Go outside and explore the sights. In Portsmouth there's so much to do, such as visiting the nearby beaches, Spinnaker Tower and the Gunwharf Quays. But before we move on to the next tip, let me know down in the comments what your top tips are for beating the winter blues. So my next top tip is to give yourself one goal each day. This can be as small as getting out of bed or making sure you've had a shower. Or it could be something related to university, such as just simply writing 200 words that day for an essay. As humans, we tend to give ourselves lots of ambitious New Year's resolutions and then feel really down when we can't attain them straight away. But by giving yourself something simplistic yet realistic, that rhymes, we are much more likely to achieve them and feel really proud of ourselves. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. My next tip is to lessen activity on social media. It's natural to compare our New Year progress with what others are doing online, but this can make us feel miserable as we often feel as though we aren't doing good enough. So perhaps reduce the amount of time you spend on certain platforms. You could mute the apps or specific accounts just so you don't see the posts as often. And my last tip for today is to do something creative or something that has nothing to do with uni or work. For example, you could go pottery painting with your friends, which is a very therapeutic activity. Personally, my creative hobby outside of university is to film and edit YouTube videos for my own student channel. I also like to read non-fiction books in the evening to clear my head and de-stress after a busy day. So those are some of my top tips for beating the winter blues. I really hope you found them helpful. If you haven't already, make sure to click like on this video and subscribe for more student content. I've been Gaia, thank you so much for watching. Bye!
Hi everyone, my name is Joy and I am a PhD researcher in molecular microbiology. I am based in St Michael's Building at the University of Portsmouth and I'd like to share with you what I get up to in a week. But first, how did I end up being where I am at today? I graduated with a Master's in Pharmacy back in 2018 and qualified as a pharmacist in 2019. Between my third and fourth year of my undergraduate degree, I had the opportunity to go to Warsaw in Poland for my Erasmus student exchange. It was there when I realized how much I enjoyed working at the bench, and that's when I decided to embark on a PhD journey after I qualified. Come join me on a very fun week. So, this is what my week looks like. I have to be really organized with my time because of the intensity of my project. So everything is color coordinated by the activity. On Monday, I started out with a 2-hour session with the Women's Enterprise Programme about time management. It was at the Portsmouth Central Library by Guildhall and a fantastic opportunity to network with other women. I learnt about how to create mind maps and lists to help me prioritize my work, as well as knowing when to delegate and defer to other members of the team. Next up, I had a cast call. I know, why on earth is Joy in an acting role? Well, it's because I am one of the student ambassadors for the university, and they were looking for students to feature in their new video production. I ended up getting a supporting role for the short film, and let's just say I'll stay in my science field. I founded and run a small business called With Extraordinary Grace, which I nickname WEG because it is quite the mouthful. I created With Extraordinary Grace as a zero-waste fundraiser project and donate all my profits to Hope For charity. Here, I'm wrapping a gift order up. I'm back in the lab on Tuesday. Most weeks, I work a full 9 to 6 kind of day, with the occasional need for an evening or weekend experiment. In my PhD, I have many opportunities to work with other people. So far in this academic year, I have trained up and worked with 2 Masters of Research postgraduate students and 3 undergraduate biomedical students. In my area of research, I'm looking at a particular protein of interest on the cell membrane of the gram-negative bacteria cell. We use E. coli in our lab because it is a cheap bacterial model as well as being relatively safe to work with. Here I am diluting my samples into a different growth block under a Bunsen burner to make sure things are kept under aseptic conditions. Every Wednesday afternoon I attend the Enterprise program. It is a 10-week program discussing all things enterprise, such as marketing, time management, sustainability, and mindset. I learn a lot in each session. That same day, I was part of the postgraduate virtual open evening. As a student ambassador, I was part of the PhD research desk as well as the student panel for the evening. That Wednesday was also my birthday. I am really grateful for a husband who can cook very well, and very healthily as well. He made us a pan-fried crispy skinned salmon on a bed of vegetables in a tomato sauce. Wow, and it was delicious! On Thursday, I had another student ambassador shift, Begin Your Future. It was a one-day experience day for Year 12 students to inspire them to apply to university. We gave them a tour of the whole university, but what was the most interesting for me was Eldon Building. They have a really cool VR and XR stage where you can change the background, change the scenery, as well as the camera angles. Very advanced stuff. And then on Friday, I do a weekly reflection of what we've done throughout the week. I normally make sure to use this day to tie up any loose ends, be it replying to emails, refilling our pipette tip racks, empty the bins in the lab, and sending things for autoclave to be sterilized. This particular Friday, I had a meeting with my biomedical students who had finished their time of bench work with us. I showed them the very long and tedious process on how to quantify the results. One thing I've definitely learned in my PhD is to keep track of everything. All the data, all the numbers, everything. As if my full-time PhD isn't busy enough, I do all things WEG related in my spare time. I think it's important to have a creative outlet when you have such a stressful and intense time indoors in the lab. My fundraising small business with Extraordinary Grace has allowed me to meet up with other locals at markets, network with other businesses at small business events, as well as what I call having fun in the fundraising. These are the type of designs that I make. Always unique, always interesting. And that is what an interesting week of mine looks like. Thank you so much for being part of this journey. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope to see you around next time.
Hi everyone, my name is Kenny. I'm an international student studying at the University of Portsmouth, and I'm here to tell you guys 5 different cultural shocks I experienced when I moved to the UK. Let's get into the video. So before I start, I just want to put it out there like a disclaimer, but not a disclaimer. Basically, these cultural shocks might not be what everybody experienced. This might also be because of where you originally came from. I originally came from Nigeria, and it was also my first time in the UK, so these are like things I experienced for the first time. And yeah, just putting that out there. Let's get into the video. The first one is probably really obvious already, like it's very, very obvious, and it also might not be a cultural shock depending on where you come from. But I came from a country that had summer all year round. Like I never experienced winter in all my 20-something years on this earth. So when I came into the country, it was just really cold. That's the first cultural shock I experienced when I moved to the UK. The UK is actually really, really cold, and I'm not just saying, oh, it's chilly, put a cardigan on, put a like jumper on. No, put 5 layers of clothes on and get 2 winter coats type of cold. It was really cold, and like nothing genuinely prepared me for how cold it was gonna be. Like till this day, I cannot find the right words to emphasize how cold it is in the UK. And it's not cold for a month, it's cold for several months. It's been cold since October last year. Like it's cold, like it's just really, really cold. And like that was like the first cultural shock I experienced when I moved here. It's still a cultural shock because I just cannot, like I tell all my friends back home, it's like, it's so cold. I'm like, they're like, oh my god, it can't be that cold. I'm like, you don't get it, it's so cold. Oh, it's cold. I also have notes on my phone, so if you see me looking down on my phone, I'm actually checking my notes. The second cultural shock I experienced was in the UK, you guys drive at the left-hand side of the road. I think you guys drive by the right-hand side of the road and not the left-hand side. Just hold on, I think I'm gonna check right now. So in the UK, you guys drive at the left-hand side of the road, and in my country and basically some other places, we actually drive on the right-hand side of the road. So it was actually really, really confusing when I first came in. I would find myself always going to the driver's seat every single time because it was just literal like reflex for me. Like it was just, I would just not, like till this day, no matter how many like Ubers or how many people tend to drop me off, I would just always go to the right hand side, which ends up being the driver's seat in the UK. Like it's always so embarrassing, and it just always goes back to, oh no, I'm not originally from here. It was really weird. That's also another cultural shock I experienced. Another thing that I experienced is that when you go to the grocery store or the shop or anywhere, basically you have to pay for your plastic bags. Yeah, that was really surprising for me. Like I had absolutely no idea that you had to do that, because back home all our plastic bags were for free. But over here, you'd have to like retain the ones that you buy at first, then take it back to the super store, or your shops, or like just wherever, and you basically have to like reuse them always. Another cultural shock for me is the slangs people use in the UK. So like obviously languages is different, but like I also come from an predominantly English speaking country, and the UK is actually like always just known for speaking English, and there was just slangs that UK people would use, like cheers, and it would just be like cheers as a form of like hi or thank you. But for us, anytime we said cheers, it was more of a toast, but like for wine glasses and everything. So it was also like quite surprising for me. Like people would like get off the bus and say cheers, or people would like try and say thank you for like a service that you offered them, and you'll be like,
to Birmingham, and just a short walk from the train station is BCU, Birmingham City University. If you're trying to decide what university to go to and why you should consider BCU, then here are my top reasons of why I decided to study here and why I love it so much. First off would be the amazing facilities that we have here at BCU. Whatever course you're studying, they are second to none and spread across 4 sites across the city. So this is me. I'm studying product and furniture science, so here I have absolutely everything I need. Across all the other courses that BCU has to offer, the School of Art at Margaret Street has incredible printing facilities, workshop spaces and studios that students can use. Over at the School of Jewellery, they have their incredible traditional workshops as well as the latest technology for jewellery design. If you're studying one of our media courses, then you will have access to amazing spaces like this studio. Students have full use of these facilities that are also used by industry, providing great opportunities for students. There are 4 studios, a green screen, photographic and radio studios, all built to a fully professional standard. The Curzon building houses the Eagle and Bull, a 19th century renovated pub run by our student union. In the Curzon building, you'll find our library, which is open 24 hours a day, as well as our campus shop. If you are studying on one of our courses here, you may find yourself spending time in our city trading room or participating in mock trials in our law courts. Over at our City South campus, our facilities offer hands-on practical experience with professional equipment for health and social care and life sciences. If you are studying on this campus, you'll have access to cutting-edge facilities such as birthing rooms, an operating theatre and biomedical science labs. Our sports and exercise science students also have access to specialist equipment and facilities at the Alexander Stadium, which you might recognise from the 2022 Commonwealth Games. Here, students learn alongside professional sports organisations such as UK Athletics. Birmingham is one of the fastest growing cities in the UK, and with the uni's connection to all of that, there is a whole bunch of opportunities that BCU can provide for you. As more companies move into the city, it provides access that you will have to specialised work placements. And because of Birmingham's unique position in the country, there is the ability to travel anywhere in the UK. Here at our City South campus, you will find plenty of placement opportunities. Completing a placement is an excellent way of putting what you have learnt on your course into practice. If you are studying on one of our health courses, this can be really useful, where you might make the transition from the mock ward where we are now and onto the real thing. Finally, choosing to come to BCU is choosing to join the most supportive and diverse community that anyone could wish to be a part of. It's not just the uni, but the city itself that pulls people in from all over the world and different cultures. There really is nothing like it. As well as students, there are also our lecturers from a wide range of backgrounds feeding their expertise into the BCU community. Student life here is something you can really immerse yourself in, be it on campus, getting involved in dozens of societies, or making the most of hanging around the city with friends and course mates. So that's why I think you should choose to come and join us at Birmingham City University. But don't take my word for it. Take a look online and check out the courses that you're interested in, and then perhaps you will come here and find out for yourself why you should choose BCU.
this interview. Here are some useful do's and don'ts to help you prepare. The most important thing is to be yourself and be confident, which will help you to be more natural in your responses. Here are some do's. Do talk about specific modules on your course to show that you have researched it thoroughly. Do make sure you research studying in other countries as well as the UK, including other universities and courses. This shows that you have thought carefully about your decision to study here. Do explain the similarities and differences between the different countries and universities you've researched. Do talk about the research you've done on the website of the university you're applying to. Do talk about your 5-year plan. What are your aspirations for the future? Do explain how any of your previous study or current work experience relates to the course you want to study at BCU. And here are some things not to do. Don't show your ID too far away from the camera. Make sure it's clearly visible, as your identity must be verified as part of the interview. Don't sit in a room with reflective glass behind you. It's important to sit somewhere well lit, but not too bright. Don't be too scripted in your answers, as it can sound robotic. While it's important to do your research before the interview, we still want you to sound natural. Don't make lots of hand gestures, as this can confuse the AI software. Don't talk for too long. Try and be concise in your answers, as each question has a time limit. However, it's also important that you don't give very short answers with no detail at all. Remember, this is your opportunity to demonstrate you have carried out research about the UK, BCU, your course and your career plan. Ensure that you do not give vague or incorrect answers, and you are citing information from reputable sources like the university website. Good luck with your interview.
Hello guys, my name is Dazzy and I'm here to talk to you about if studying a postgraduate degree is really worth it. I've always wanted to be a physiotherapist for as long as I can remember. I come from a sporting background and now I wanted to be able to specialize in the area that I'm going to be working in. And the thing that stuck out to me to do was to get my master's degree in physiotherapy and take my learning to just another level. So how does a master's degree differ from an undergraduate degree? To me, if I'm talking from my perspective, the work isn't necessarily harder, which is what a lot of people seem to think. I would say that the work is around the same. It's just that you have to be better at managing your time. There's a lot of soul study that's required in doing a master's degree. Whereas in an undergraduate degree, you have a lot more guided lectures with lecturers. You have a bit more time with lecturers to then learn. I think my favorite moment of studying my master's so far was definitely that feeling of going on my first placement. It was surreal. Things that I've been learning for the past, at the time it was for the past 9 months. I was then gonna go and put it into practice in a real working environment. And personally, I had never worked in physiotherapy before. As I told you, my undergrad was in sport exercise and health sciences. So to then go and do real work in the real world with real patients in physiotherapy, it felt so surreal. It felt like a young me would have been so proud to then see what I'm doing now, which is amazing. So that was definitely a milestone and my favorite moment of my master's so far. I think studying a master's has definitely helped me grow both personally and professionally, in the sense that I feel like I'm a lot more confident. With me going on placements and working in these different areas of physiotherapy, it's developed my interpersonal skills, it's developed my knowledge as a physiotherapist, my confidence, because you have to have a certain level of confidence. Whatever you're going to do your master's degree in, make sure it's something that you're really going to enjoy. Make sure it's something that you take an interest in, because when you take an interest in something and when you enjoy it, that's how you're going to get the best out of it. I really enjoy it. I enjoy lectures. I enjoy meeting my lecturers, talking about physiotherapy, broadening my knowledge. If you're currently an undergraduate student at Birmingham City University and you're thinking about doing a master's degree, there's a whole section on funding on the BC website, which you might want to take a look at because you get a nice bit of money off, which is good.
Hi guys, it's Shelby and I'm about to start my 3rd year of uni. So I've been getting together like all the stationery and things I'm going to be using. So I'm just going to go through everything that I've got. Okay, so this is pretty much everything. There might not be enough here for my entire year, but this is definitely enough to get me started. So I'm just going to go through it all. To start off with, I have this academic diary. As you can see there, it's from the year 2019 to 2020. So this diary is academic, so it runs like mid-year to mid-year, so it's perfect for school years. I had an academic diary for last year, but I didn't really use it, so I'm definitely going to try harder to use this one this time, because I know a lot of people like to write things down in their notes on their phone, but I definitely find it easier when I can write it down on paper. I find like wall calendars and stuff like this a lot more useful than the calendar on my phone, so I'm definitely going to be trying to write things down in here more. There are quite a few here. This one in particular was one of the bunch that I bought for last year, and I just didn't fill this one, so I put it with all of this year's stuff in case I wanted to use it. Okay, so next up I just have a few supplies that I'm keeping in this like little plastic bag thing here. These are things that I think I'm going to find easier to use when I do like a lot of self-study at home. So I'm just going to go through what I've put in here. I just have like a bunch of stationery. I kind of just keep it in there because I don't really have anywhere else to put it. There's just a load of pens here and then some highlighters as well. I find the highlighters particularly useful because if I ever have any reading to do, I'll highlight it and annotate it. So that's why there's a bunch of pens in here with a bunch of different colours. Then I have a couple of different packs of record cards. So I use these to make flashcards. These I bought when I had my exams last year, and these are just a couple of the packs that I have left over. So I have some white ones that are lined and then some coloured ones that are lined as well. So these are called page pointers, and I just use these to hold the place in books. So they're just these little clips here that you can clip onto a page, and it will just hold the position in the book for you. I find these super useful if you have a lot of books open at once, especially if you're writing an essay. It doesn't happen very often for me, but if I have an actual like load of real books rather than online books in front of me, I don't have the room to have them open the whole time. So if there's a page I want to keep, I'll just click one of these on the top, and then I can close the book and throw it somewhere else to give me more space. And the final thing in there is just this A4 notebook. I don't really take A4 notebooks to uni because I find they take up way too much room in my bag, and I prefer to take the smaller ones. So this is just a notebook that I'll be using at home. So I've just started putting some stuff in here that I think I'm going to need. I'm ready to file away all my notes. I do keep a lot of my notes like digitally on my laptop, but if I do have any like reading that I'm given, I'll print it out, and I find it easier to then file it away in a folder. So this is why I have this. Okay, so the first thing we have are like these different size post-it notes. There's one to make just some notes up there, a to-do list, and then these ones at the bottom that will just help me keep tabs on things. I think these will be super useful for helping me keep organised, something that I personally really struggle with. Behind that I just have some of these pastel cardboard dividers. These again were something I actually had left over from last year I never got around to using. Behind those I just have some plastic wallets ready for when I have any papers to file away. There isn't actually a lot left. I could do going out to get some more, but this should be enough just to get me started. And behind that, the last thing I have is just like a chunk of lined paper all ready for me to make some notes on, just in case I have any notes that just want to go straight in my folder rather than writing them in a book. And yeah, that is the last thing in here. Okay, so that was all the stationery that I've either bought for this year or I just had left over and I'm going to be using this year. I hope you found that useful. Maybe it jogged your memory on some things that you forgot. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Whether you've moved abroad or live just a few hours away from university, homesickness can be something that affects all of us in lots of different ways. Homesickness, don't forget, can affect you at any point during your time at university or time away from home, whether that's as you've just moved in as a freshers or maybe in the middle of your second year when things are starting to get really difficult. Homesickness will affect you when you least expect it. In my room, I used posters, little bits of decorations that I brought from home, Just things that made my room feel like me. I also bought some really cool IKEA bedding that I think looks really funky, and it's just one of the things that when you come home from university and you're feeling a bit, you know, achy in the heart, you know, you're missing home, then I think it's really important to have a room that feels welcoming to you and like a safe space. Join clubs, societies, maybe something even as simple as learning where your local supermarkets are. Keep yourself busy during that first week, as it's kind of when homesickness is most likely to set in. This can be a bit tricky, as it can be hard to find the balance between calling too often and not calling enough. I can assure you that your parents are probably dying to know what's happening at university, all of the gossip and who you like, who you don't like, what your flatmates like. I can imagine they want to know everything. But there's also such a thing as calling too much. Remember, you have just left home and your parents are probably really enjoying the time when you're not there. Not to be mean to you, but they probably are. So I would say keeping it to maybe 2 to 1 phone call a week, I'd say is the sweet spot, because then you'll always have something to say. I would definitely advise that you cook some home comforts, whether that's maybe specific recipes that your mum and dad used to make. It's also a great way to learn how to do some cooking. You need to make sure that whilst you're at university, you're eating properly, you're sleeping enough, because homesickness is never going to feel good if you yourself don't feel good physically. So make sure that you always take care of yourself during, like, you know, the times that matter the most, and always, of course, but get yourself a routine, try and stick to it. Just overall keep your physical health happy, and you'll probably deal with homesickness a lot better than if you were living off packets of crisps and sleeping until the, you know, late hours of the day. This is something that may sound strange, but I remember during my first year of university when we had lots of deadlines and I couldn't see a lot of my friends very often, it was really useful that I knew what to do with myself when I had to be alone. Whether that was doing something I really enjoyed, like painting, or just watching Netflix, cooking. Just make sure that if you do have to spend time by yourself and not be with friends, that you know how to do it well and how to enjoy yourself. Homesickness is bound to happen whether you like it or not. And I think the best way to combat this would be to think about why you're there in the first place, whether it was for an opportunity or whether you wanted to change your life. I think it's always worth considering why it is you did what you did, and might help you kind of get through that feeling of homesickness. But overall, it is normal to feel homesick. Everyone does. It's just learning how to deal with it and just getting through it, really. If you really are dealing with homesickness in a way that you don't think these tips could help you, speak to a friend or a tutor or find some help at the university. Just remember that homesickness is normal and that everyone deals with it in their own way.
BCU graduates power Birmingham. More than half of our students are homegrown from the West Midlands. Over 40% stay in Birmingham, shaping its workforce, strengthening its communities and driving its growth. In the West Midlands, 43% of newly qualified nurses trained at BCU. More than 75% of new radiographers and speech and language therapists, and over 28% of Birmingham's new primary school teachers are BCU graduates. Nearly 1 in 4 graduates entering professional roles in Birmingham come from BCU, almost twice as many as any other university in the city. BCU is more than a university in Birmingham. We are an anchor institution, rooted here, invested here, committed to its long-term prosperity. We're not just part of Birmingham's story, we help power it, and we're building what comes next.
I've been at uni for a whole year now, and in that time I've had some really incredible experiences. I've had some struggles too, literally because I just didn't really know what I was doing most of the time. I think I dealt with most of my situations quite well, but there's definitely a few things I wish I did know before I actually went to uni. So let's start with the things I thought benefited me in the long run. I'm the kind of person who packs for a holiday like 2 days before you're actually going. I did the same when I was moving away for the first time, obviously. So I gathered together a few boxes, started putting stuff in that I knew I would be taking and wouldn't need straight away, so like kitchen supplies and stuff, for example. Started packing that away. I made myself lists so I knew I wouldn't forget anything. Lists are good for like last minute stuff, so you make sure that you're not forgetting anything. Generally really organised, really on top of everything, so you know you're not forgetting anything, leaving anything behind that you might need. And it just helps you be more relaxed and at ease in the whole moving in process. Open your student bank account before you actually get to uni. As a student, you definitely should have a student account just because it offers you more perks than if you were just using a regular account. Some will have a higher overdraft rate, or I think some have like Amazon Prime memberships and stuff like that. So just look around and find what the best one for you would be. I was quite frugal with my money, and I'm not just talking about not going out on the weekends or not buying a new outfit when I feel like it or something like that, because I definitely did. And really, I had the excess money to be able to do that because I saved money elsewhere. When it came to furnishing my flat, I looked at second-hand places. I even looked in charity shops to find most of my kitchenware. I mean, if you don't mind second-hand, it was so cheap. I think I managed to deck up my whole kitchen for like less than a £5. It was absolutely mad. So that was really great. And in terms of food, go to the cheapest supermarket that you can find. Don't rely on Tesco Express. They are everywhere, and I know it's so convenient, but if you want to save money, Tesco Express is really expensive. And if you're living quite close to the university, so in University Locks or Jennings Court, there's a Morrison's about a 25-minute walk away, which is really great. I had an old lady trolley. I'm not joking, I had an old lady trolley. I used to take that shopping with me just because it was way easier than obviously carrying a load of bags. You just wheel it along, and a 25-minute walk's no problem. So if you are going to do that, granny trolleys are great investment. Thoroughly recommend a granny trolley. I also bought a lot of goods off of the market. The market is right next to the Bullring, and it's so cheap for all of your fresh meat and veg. I used to go there all the time. So great. I mean, you can get like a whole bag full of like pears for £1. It's so good. I called my mum a lot. I know that sounds a bit, you know, mummy's girl or whatever, but seriously, do it, because you've left the nest for the first time. She's really upset about it. At least give her a little bit of peace of mind. Let her know that you're having a good time, you've made some mates, you've settled in, you're doing well on your course. Don't tell her about all the other stuff, but you know, at least reassure her that you're having a good time. And for me, it kind of just helped settle my nerves, because you know, it was somebody to talk to when I didn't really have any friends to begin with. And it kind of helps beat the homesickness when that kicks in. It doesn't at first, but you know, when it does, call your mum because she's missing you. Obviously you're at university and you want to do well on your course and you want to go out and you want to party a lot. That is what university's for. Feel free to do those things, obviously. But I just think it's also a fantastic opportunity to find volunteering opportunities, for example, or find some part-time work that's related to the course you're doing, some kind of project that you can get behind. You can also sign yourself up to societies, which is a really great way to meet people and make friends and have some fun and do something that you're really interested in. I definitely should have read more and looked into and checked out more of the different accommodations that were on offer. When I went to an open day, I only got to look around one of the accommodations just because I didn't really have time. But if you do have time, I really recommend looking around your options and seeing as many of the accommodation places as you can, just so you can make the most informed decision about where you're staying. I know there's a lot of Facebook groups out there for like BCU freshers or Room Finder or something like that. And just ask what people say, ask what the perks are of different places, ask what the cons are of different places. I should have thought about where I was staying this year way sooner than I did. Finding a flat was a really daunting task for me, simply because it was just something I'd never done before. We wanted to stay as close to the city centre as we possibly could, just because it's convenient for nights out or travelling to uni every day and stuff. But because we left it so late, all of the affordable places in the city centre weren't available anymore. So we were forced to go slightly out of the city centre. So make sure that you are looking for your accommodation quite early on in the year. I think some people say as early as December. So yeah, start looking soon because it will benefit you in the long run. I wish I'd connected with more people on my course before I actually moved to Birmingham. So I did actually manage to find a few people in my accommodation on Facebook before I moved to Birmingham. But I kind of wish that I'd tried to find people that were actually on my course before I moved, simply because when it came to that first day, I was really nervous. I didn't know what to do, I didn't know what to say, and it did make me feel really anxious. So if you can, try and find people on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever you use. Try and find people on your course or just who will be there so you have somebody to talk to, somebody to get to know in your first weeks, because it will make you feel better. It'll make you feel like you've got a friend before you're even there. Overall, I've had an amazing experience at university so far, and I'm going to continue having an amazing experience. But I think if you can kind of minimise your stress and anxiety in the first few weeks, because that's really when I was having the most problems, then you're going to be fine. You're going to have an amazing time. So yeah, just make sure you're organised when you're getting ready to go, and make sure that you're trying to find friends and put yourself at ease in any way you can before you get there.